Hey, Brent Porcy at TopVelocity.net. You know, at Top Velocity for years from the beginning, we've had a lot of criticism with why we use the Olympic lift, specifically the clean and the clean variations, to enhance performance for increasing velocity, pitching velocity, throwing velocity, pop time velocity, even bat velocity. Why do we use these Olympic lifts? And these two studies really show the symmetry and the effectiveness of how they work together. And this really is kind of the secret sauce, even though there's way more to it here at Top Velocity and how these techniques merge together. But just in the looks or analyzing the ground reaction forces. What are ground reaction forces? That's the forces we put into the ground to create energy. And that eventually is multiplied through what we call kinetic energy, which gets to the ball and allows us to throw hard. So if we look at this study here, this is characteristic ground reaction forces for beginner baseball pitchers. And they wanted to look at elite pitchers to beginner pitchers. And then this is looking at a study I showed the other day for Olympic lifters. For the clean, looking at novice, someone corrected me for saying novice the other day, thank you, novice to experienced, so basically beginner to elite. So we can see the vertical force production for pitchers, and we can see the vertical force production for the clean and the difference between beginners and elite. So let's look over here. This is the pitching delivery. This is the drive, or basically the drive leg ground forces. This is the landing leg ground forces. This is showing us from the drive leg, this is the elites. The elites peak forces closer, and this is to front foot strike. This is front foot strike. The beginners lose vertical ground forces going into front foot strike. We're seeing that over here, right? When we look at the clean between beginner and elite, we can see vertical forces right here for the elite goes up. That's the blue line. We see that peak going into what they call the late scoop phase, where you're in full triple extension. You can see the elite lifters, they peak forces there when the beginner forces decline and lose forces there. Almost identical to the drive leg point right here, where the elites are going up, the beginners are going down, the elites are going up, the beginners are going down. And then even on the landing leg, we can see the beginner landing leg forces are lower than the elites. And the elites actually have a little hump action there, but well above in the ground forces. Just once again, these are vertical forces here. These are vertical forces here. We see the same thing. The elites peaking forces at the moment of the launch, and the beginners are struggling to do that. That's why the Olympic lifts are so effective for baseball players. And you hear a lot of bad miseducation out there that the vertical forces or the sagittal forces in lifting don't occur pitching. When we see it here, vertical force through the delivery is being applied better with elite athletes, which is the same thing that's happening here with elite athletes in the clean or the Olympic clean variation. The elite athletes, specifically through the full launch of the kinetic chain, are peaking higher than the beginners. So it's just really awesome to see these two studies showing you the same ground force profiles doing almost identical things between the beginner to elites and both pitchers and lifters in specifically the Olympic clean. It's just groundbreaking to see this. You know, I've spoken about this for years, but it's just exciting that I can show you definite proof through third-party peer-reviewed research that this is happening, and it's why it works so effectively for increasing velocity. So if you have any questions, please post it below. Would love to hear them.